Have you ever heard that saying, watch what you wish for? Lived all my life raising 3 kids to be an empty nester. I forgot about the grandkids. All of a sudden, we start having grandkids, which is fine. The first one, they lived far away, military family. Enjoyed seeing every moment, Facebook every day. Then all of a sudden, we get more. And we ended up getting 3 more within 1 year. Then we get a phone call that my nephews were being taken away from their parents. So we went and got them. So now we have 6 kids, 2 nephews, 4 grandkids, and now the military one moved only an hour and a half away. Although it's been a dream, love every minute of it, well, almost every minute of it. But man, I'm worn out. Finally, I have a Sunday, quiet.
Bear with me as I vent about boomer grandparents. Ooh, I'm all fired up. Okay, I want you to stop first, go back and watch that video, and then come back here. Ooh, that's some good hot chocolate. Okay, welcome back. I want you to go back and look at the comments, because some of these comments are absolutely unhinged. It shows how disconnected these 2 generations are. The boomer generation and a part of the Gen X generation. Now, I'm not going to group that entire generation because a lot of them have pulled themselves out of it, but some of them are just mini boomers. One of the comments is essentially saying that you can't group an entire generation like this. It's just the parents. And I commented and said, no, babe, sweetheart, darling, honey bun. No, I didn't say any of that shit because that's so demeaning. No, I said you're wrong. It is a generational thing. And it's one reason why so many millennials have gone no contact with their boomer parents. In my own personal situation, my in-laws, who are boomers, thought that seeing their grandchild, now we're going to take it back to my son, seeing their grandchild once every 6 to 8 weeks was enough. Never, ever offering to help out in any way. And when we asked, they'd be like, we're going to dinner tonight. We're busy. I'm sorry. Okay. But then they would get angry when they came over here and my son would run and hide from them and not want to see them. Oh, why isn't he coming to see me? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not going to be a Hallmark situation, and I'm not going to be happy to see you if you're never around. And these same boomer parents did things that I asked them specifically not to do that put my son's safety at risk. All because they wanted to just get at me. And they didn't believe me when I told him that he had an allergy. Except that we had been to a doctor and had a diagnosis. These same boomer parents went and bought a birthday present that I was like, oh, we're going to get this for his birthday. And gave it to him first. These same boomer parents triangulated my husband and I against each other. When I would address something, they would call him and whine and cry about how I was refusing to ever allow them to see their grandchild again, when I never ever said anything like that, ever. And then he would come home and be like, what happened? And we would fight. These same boomer parents thought that it was okay to call my child a fatso, a fatty, a piggy, a moron, an idiot, because it was funny, and they were joking. These same boomer parents could not get my son to perform basic human needs, like going to the bathroom after he was nearly potty trained because he was so uncomfortable with them, and the last time that he had tried to do it, they made him cry. So he didn't. and he didn't pee for a significantly long period of time. And then when they came home and told me nonchalantly, I was supposed to be like, oh, okay, no problem. When in fact I lost my mind. These same boomer parents ruined every special occasion for us. Every holiday, the birth of my son, everything, causing some sort of drama somewhere. In addition, getting wasted and falling out of chairs. These same boomer parents came to our house unannounced, didn't knock, came in, found us in our underwear, relaxing and making breakfast, and then still proceeded to come in, have a conversation with us. These same boomer parents had a hissy fit when I asked them to please remove their shoes when they entered my house because I had an infant crawling on the floor and didn't want dirty shoes walking around my house. My child was essentially licking the floors. And finally, these same boomer parents disrespected the boundary that we tried to set to save our marriage. And we told them that their involvement with us at that point in time was destroying our marriage. And they didn't care. And my mother-in-law just kept going. And every single holiday and special event and everything that happened in those years of no contact, we received nasty text messages from them on every one of those holidays saying that I ruined the family and I was a horrible person and that it was all my fault. These same boomer parents were told how we felt. But they didn't want to listen to us. They didn't care. We're saying that we need you involved in our lives. We want you involved in our lives. But that's only if you're going to respect the boundaries and love us and our kids and respect their boundaries and how we parent. That otherwise, why are we going to keep you in our lives? To deal with your drama? That you will probably end up causing divorces? It sucks. Listen to your kids. Don't discount how they feel. Because I'm telling you right now, if there are situations that have happened, those are the reasons that your kids went no contact. And if you didn't listen to them, well then, you'll be the one that's like, they just stopped talking to me. I don't know why. Get your head out of your ass.
I love talking about how boomer grandparents are like just assholes and say that they don't like to watch their grandchildren because it's not their job, right? And I have so many boomers come in my comments and like they're intentionally misunderstanding, right? We all know what I'm talking about. We know who I'm talking about. We know it's the grandparents who never come around, who post on Facebook all the time that they miss their grandkids or, you know, that they are the best grandma ever, see them 4 times a year and demand that their children get in the car and drive to them. That's who we're talking about, okay? And when I say as a grandparent, it is your responsibility to watch your grandchildren, I mean that in a sense of as a grandparent, you are not a grandfriend or a grandbabysitter. You are a grandparent, so you do play a role in your grandchildren's lives if you want to be a part of them, okay? And if you want to play a part in your grandchildren's lives, it needs to be a beneficial, constructive relationship. And that means that you do play a part in raising them, okay? We're not talking about the children who take advantage of their parents and dump their kids off every single weekend. We all know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that my in-laws are so amazing because my husband and I go to therapy every Monday night. They come to our house at 6:30 every single Monday, put our kids to sleep, and then when we get home, they leave. That is what I'm talking about because my in-laws know that their son, who is a 33-year-old man, needs their help. And it's their job to help their son out in a way that works for everyone. We are not taking advantage of them. They're not overstepping. Our children have a healthy relationship with their grandparents. It's okay. And we know that's what I'm talking about. And if you feel offended on anything I'm saying, Barb, it's because the call is coming from inside the house.
Now, I will say there are a lot of boomer parents out there that did not want to be parents, so now that they're grandparents, they're like, no, I don't want to watch these kids of yours, never. When we ourselves were basically raised by our own grandparents. And my parents will watch my kids, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but there's always this weird set of like extra rules and tonality over it. Like, there's a lot of times my 7-year-old will be there and all of a sudden my mother will call me in the middle of the night and be like, you have to come get him right now. And it'll turn out to be literally nothing. She just didn't want to deal with him anymore. Or if she finds out that I'm going out on a date with my boyfriend or doing something with his family, my mother will suddenly have a reason why it's impossible for her to watch my kid. And usually it's not one that adds up once you look into it. And then at the last second, once I've already made other arrangements, then she wants to pop in and be like, well, I was going to watch him. I don't know why you're doing this. And my dad is definitely more keen to watch the children if asked. He's retired, he has less to do, but my mother won't let him watch the children by himself, which is again a whole weird thing. It's just like my mother has to control everyone and everything to such a minutia level, and she's angry when I find ways around her to still live my life. Like, you don't want to watch my kids? Fine, I'll find someone else. What do you mean? How could you do that?